Did it ever come to your mind how does computer interprets data? Well, in this video we will tackle on how computers interpret data. Computers interpret data through a series of steps and advanced techniques that enable them to process and understand various forms of information. Here's a detailed overview. Here are the basic data processing steps. 1. Data input. Data is entered into the computer through devices like keyboards, mice, scanners, or sensors. It can be in the form of text, numbers, images, or other types of information. 2. Processing. The central processing unit CPU processes and executes instructions, performing arithmetic and logical operations on the data. It manipulates the data according to the provided instructions. The control unit manages the flow of data between the input, processing, storage, and output components, ensuring accurate processing and execution of instructions. 3. Storage. Data is stored in the computer's memory or secondary storage devices like hard drives or solid-state drives. Memory is used for temporary storage, while secondary storage provides long-term storage for files, programs, and the operating system. 4. Output. Processed data is presented as output, which can be text on a monitor, images on a screen, sounds through speakers, or files saved to storage. Output devices translate the processed data into a human-readable format.
Now let us discover how does computers uses numbers in interpreting data.
Throughout history, almost every civilization has used a decimal number system with 10 digits, 0 through 9. All of the numbers we can possibly think of use some combination of those 10 digits. Computers, however, operate very differently. Instead, they use a number system that has just 2 digits, 1 and 0. This system is called binary, and your computer uses it all the time. Computers need information in order to do what they do. This digital information, or data, is made up of something called bits. Bit is short for binary digit, meaning each bit is really just a single number, either a 1 or a 0. These bits can be combined to create larger units like bytes, megabytes, and so on that we use to measure our files. The larger a file is, the more bits it has. So something like a high-resolution video is actually made up of millions and millions and millions of ones and zeros. So how exactly do these ones and zeros come together and allow a computer to function? Let's think of binary as a light switch. Imagine that a 1 represents the light switch being on, and 0 represents it being off. With binary, the light is either on or off with no other possible states. So these bits are strung together as different combinations of ones and zeros, and they form a kind of code. Your computer then rapidly processes this code and translates it into data, telling it what to do. You might be wondering, why do computers use binary instead of the decimal system that we use for counting things in the real world? Well, as previously mentioned, binary has 2 states, off and on. If computers were to use decimal, there would be 10 states instead. Our computers would have to work a lot harder to process all of these. Binary is easier for them to process and also takes up less space. Just like atoms make up everything around us in the real world, everything in the digital world, including video, text, pictures, and more, can be broken down into binary. And even though we can't see them, it's all a bunch of ones and zeros.